Hello, Eric. Hello, Emma. Welcome to another Sunday video. Today is actually Saturday, but I miss you guys. I love you guys. And without further ado, here we go into the video. So I'll see you on the other side. That sounded kind of weird, didn't it? Children, here's a history lesson for you, and you're welcome in advance. It's not called advance. This game is from ancient China, and when it first was invented, it was called went. Like, I went to the store. Julie went to the concert. William went to the backyard. But people would say in ancient China, hey, do you want to play a game of went? And then the other person would say, we already did. Then they changed it later to go, and that's when it really took off. I don't know what you guys are learning in those Florida schools, so I thought I would teach you a little bit about nature and a little bit about biology and how things work out in the natural world. Just like any other of God's creations, trees, you can see them all out there. Trees, there's a squirrel. See the squirrel? Trees, I digress. Trees, when they get rid of their waste products, trees poop their leaves all over the ground, which is why raking leaves is disgusting. But trees poop their leaves all over the ground, but sometimes, there's a squirrel right there, but sometimes, see that? Okay, this is where I'm going. Sometimes trees, especially old trees, get constipated. And when that happens, this happens. So this is from a constipated tree. It's probably just older, and that happens. It's very natural. It's very normal. But squirrels love that shit. Let's take a little break and we'll feed that squirrel. There's a squirrel right there because he's a little nervous about knocking, but he's right there. He's looking in. We're going to grab some tree poop from old trees, and we're going to go out here and see if we can feed this little guy. There's 3 little tree poops, and he takes it. He's afraid of, you see, he runs away. He's afraid an other squirrel might see him. See how far he goes? Other squirrels might see him eating the nut and figure out that the nuts are there. See, he just came back, and he's smelling that nut. He's like, it's still there. And he's going to make a left. Oh, no. That's careless. Don't eat so close to your food. Keep running. There you go. Yeah, he's running down the road. He'll be back. As you can see, there's just one nut left right there. That's it. That's the nut. It's right there. And so hopefully he comes back before another squirrel figures out where that nut is, and I bet some other creature probably watched him get up on the porch. So time is of the essence here. Oh, here he comes. Here he comes. Right there. Little shit. Coming up. He's got the last nut. He's going to turn it around in his paws and say, yeah, there's a nut in there. I guess I'll oh, it goes right. That's tricky. That's some tricky shit there. Look at that. He went right. Normally he goes left, but he went right. It's going to climb, go up that tree. Nope, it's going to keep going. Where's he at? There he is. He's going out on the pavement. What's he doing? I think he's confused. Some squirrels do drugs. Some squirrels do drugs, and that's why, that's probably one of the meth squirrels. Some squirrels do drugs, so that's probably why he went right, because he got confused. This is why you don't do drugs, because if you do drugs, you can lose your nuts. And if you lose your nuts, then, I mean, don't even get me started. I mean, they don't climb right. They're just a mess, and they're already a mess. And so, sobriety in the squirrel world is important. And that's a cause that I'm very passionate about, is squirrel sobriety, because, I mean, there are no nuts, but he'll probably come back, because if he was a sober squirrel, he would know that he took the last nut, but he'll probably come back, because he's confused, but it's not his fault. It's a disease. It's the drugs doing that to him. It's not his fault. It's a disease. So anyway, they have little groups they go to up in that tree right there, for, the troubled squirrels. These are street squirrels. These are street squirrels. Yeah, they have their little gangs. And so it's a rough neighborhood that your dad lives in. It's a really, really rough neighborhood with the street squirrels and the gang squirrels. And I even saw some crows, like a gang of crows. So there's crows and squirrels in this neighborhood, which is why I stay inside. All day long, I stay inside. I'm really afraid to go out. The crows, there's drive-by flappings. They flap their wings all the time. They don't even care. The police don't come. The police don't care. I think the police are afraid of this neighborhood. So we're just kind of all out here by ourselves. Yeah, we're just out. I'm here alone. So that's why I go. That's why I live in the shed. The house is a decoy. So if somebody robs this place, I won't even be here. You see, I was right. That's the drug squirrel right there. I was right. There's no more nuts, and he's just confused, and he's back. I'm going to take pity on him, and I'm going to give him some old man tree poop right here. This is probably not a good thing for me to do, but it's just kind of feeding the addiction. So let's see if we can. There you go, you little shit. There you go, right there. Yeah. There's 3 more, now count them. Hello, children. They've got everybody staying at home with this coronavirus thing, so I'm going to try to roast some hazelnuts or tree poop and steak. I'm going to put these kind of right here. They'll stay. Just a few. Because they'll fall in between these slats. That's for the squirrels. Alright, this will be interesting. See how this goes. And now for a little fireside chat. Now I know, it's my steak right here. I know you guys are wondering, worried. You're worried, sick about your dad. How is dad surviving this coronavirus update? How have I remained so healthy? It's a great question that I will endeavor to answer. So, you're wondering yourselves, how do you survive the corona? Well, I think the first thing you have to realize is that coronavirus does pretty well in the air. It goes in the air, people breathe it in. But what it does not like is certain fluid environments. And so what I've done is I went hunting this week. I went hunting for the coronavirus. I found it hanging out in Briargate, as it does. And I thought, well, you know what I'm going to do? As my service to humanity, I'm going to capture the coronavirus. And I did. I caught it. And I put it in this bottle right here. And so in this liquid form, it's quite inert. It's harmless. A lot of people don't know this, but in Hunan province in China, in the fish market where the coronavirus first began, they were drinking this. And then what happened is a fish merchant, I don't remember her name, she left one of these with just a little bit left in it overnight. And what happens is this will grow spores, and then they'll come out into the atmosphere, and boom, you got yourself a pandemic. So the way you can solve that is by capturing the virus and simply putting it back. It's like capturing a lion. You put it back in its cage. You capture the virus, you put it back in the bottle. And then the lime acts as a deterrent. The virus climbs up. It smells the lime. It doesn't like it, and it goes back down. So, this is actually Coronita. That's a tiny corona flower, is what that means in Bangladeshi. It's Coronita. That's what extra. That means that here in America, extra means, you know, a little bit more, but there it just means the bud. The Coronita is the corona flower bud. It's the bud of the flower, and they make this beverage out of it. But because your father's not irresponsible, he will be consuming all of this with his steak. So, you know, when I was your age, we used to have, and this is a bit of a history lesson, and it was a bit of luxury. It was a luxury item that we used to have that, you know, by the time you guys watch this video, it'll be gone, it'll be extinct. But when I was your age, we had this this invention called toilet paper. And what we did with it was you could open it up at the bottom. They don't come with instructions anymore, but you open it up at the bottom, and people would clean various parts of their body. I'm going to be sitting pretty. So this is the last toilet paper roll in Colorado Springs, maybe in the United States of America. And so this is the last one. I'm going to hold on to it. I'm not going to wipe, okay, because this is too valuable. And so I'm just going to go outside and sit on the ground and scoot. That's how I'll take care of business. It's the Scoot method. There's an ebook that you can download for a price. And so, yeah, this is it right here. You guys may be wondering to yourselves, Father, how is it you chew your food with your mouth closed? Let me demonstrate. I chewed a piece of steak with my mouth closed. Thus disqualifying me from the mouth breather club. But the way I do it, well, first of all, I can breathe through my nose, which makes it easier, see? But some people, maybe they can't breathe through their nose. That's possible. It's possible they can't do that. So let's test. I'm not going to breathe through my nose, and let's see if it's possible to chew this piece of steak in a non-disgusting way. Okay, gonna not breathe through my nose. There's a tiny little gap right there. So, scientifically speaking, if your nose is ever stopped up or you have a deviated septum or some kind of reason, that's not an excuse to be gross with your food. Always chew with your mouth closed. If you're having a hard time with it, that means one of two things. Okay, this is a life lesson from Dad. You're welcome. One of two things. You're taking too large of a bite, or you're rushing through your food. It's not to be conquered. It's meant to be savored. So just take your time, enjoy your meal, chew your food. Chew it a lot. It's actually healthier to chew it a lot. Smaller bites. You will eventually get it all in. There aren't other animals out there looking to steal your food. This is not a pack of dogs. Just, chew your food. It's something you should consider. Let's talk a little bit about nutrition. I worry about your nutrition from time to time, and you may have been led to believe that the food groups sanctioned by the USDA and by the government were the Oreo group, the Taco Bell group, the Donuts in the Morning group, and copious amounts of alcoholic beverage group. But in fact, the best thing you can be eating is fresh fruits and vegetables and legumes. What's a legume? It's a bean. Beans are great for you. And drink water. If it's sweet and sugary, you shouldn't be eating that. Maybe some stevia, maybe a little bit of honey. But basically, if it brings you happiness, it's probably a bad food. So stay away from the Oreos. Stay away from Taco Bell. Stay away from donuts in the morning. That's not a breakfast. It's just a treat. And quit drinking copious amounts of alcoholic beverages. It will do you no good in the long run. It's quite unhealthy. That's all we have for this week. And like and subscribe and comment down below, and I will acknowledge you and say things about your comments. So at least we have some kind of communicative something or other. So do all the things. And I'm sure you and I will talk again soon. Love you guys.